Hey guys, what's up? Scottish Duck here, once again. Okay, nearly 3 weeks out of video. I'm sorry, it really was just a lack of knowing what to talk about and all that, you know? But I'm here now, and I do have like a little top 10 for you. Okay, so during the other week there, Xenoblade Chronicles for the Wii randomly drops on the European eShop, you know, for the Wii Virtual Console. Well, the Wii U Virtual Console, but it's a Wii game, blah blah blah. But it's on there now, and I highly, highly recommend it if you don't already have it for the Wii, or you don't have it for the new Nintendo 3DS. You really should play that, especially with the sequel coming out. And it got me thinking, you know, there are so many games for the Wii that they could pop on there that could really use like an extra bit of, you know, oomph in their life, you know, like just because the Wii U was plagued with so many games that just got lost in the, like, you know, the sea of shovelware that the console is infamous for having, you know? And the Wii, in a lot of ways, it was, at least as far as Nintendo consoles go, it was the first console where I was, like, on top of the library so much. You know, probably because it came out round when I was the age that I was paying attention to, like, every other release that was coming out, you know? I never really had that sort of experience with the consoles leading up to the NES, you know, and the NES. I didn't have that experience with the NES, NES, N64, GameCube and all that. A lot of that could probably do with the fact that was when I started collecting games in general. And you know, you compare it to the games on the Wii U now, there really isn't that much coming out for that, at least not nearly as much as what the Wii had, right? So today I would like to just throw out some suggestions, right, for the Wii U Virtual Console. You know, this is a very personal list, just 10 games that I feel deserve a second chance and should definitely go up there on the Virtual Console for us to download and play again. Before I get into the top 10, honourable mention to something that's already on the Virtual Console. Sin and Punishment Successor of the Skies. It's called like Star Successor in America. That's another thing, you know, this video is probably going to be really like outdated or maybe even wrong. Maybe some of these games are already on the Virtual Console, but the Nintendo of America and Nintendo of Europe, why don't you two get along? You know, why is it that like, oh, we're going to put, you know, Nintendo of Europe's like, we're going to put Xenoblade Chronicles up on the Wii U. Nintendo of America's sitting there in the corner, you know, with his friends, you know, and just looking up saying, damn it, he's doing that, right? We're not going to do that, right? We'll do something else. We'll exclude the fan base depending on what territory they're in. You know, that's how they operate. That's how they fucking operate, you know? But whatever. Definitely download this, okay? Amazing game. Wonderful. Anyway, on to these 10 games that I have. Again, this is a very personal list, and some of them aren't really the best of games, but I would download them again, basically. So, yeah, here we go. The first one we got here is Ivy the Kiwi, and as you can see here, this little tag here, I don't know if you can see that, from the creator of Sonic. That's Sonic the Hedgehog, yes. This was made by Yuji Naka and his small company Probe. Probe. It is Probe, isn't it? Now, Probe doesn't make that many games. I think the only other Wii game they made was Let's Tap. A very strange but very unique game where you'd put the Wii remote on a cardboard box and you would tap it, and that would like affect the Wii remote and affect the game. And you know, very cool concept, without a doubt. This one's definitely more like mascot platformer-esque heavy that you could probably expect from Yuji Naka. It's just a game where you point the Wii remote at the screen and you draw a path, and Ivy the Kiwi, who's a adorable little fucking bird that can't hatch out of her egg, I think it's a girl. You know, we'll just follow the line and go for it, you know, and it is extremely simple to the point where it's like, how can they get away with this being like a full game? But it's really good in that regard, you know, it's like, it's such a lovely little, basically like a puzzle game, really, you know, that I highly recommend. You know, and Yuji Naka's next game, Rodea the Sky Soldier, is due out in November, at least over here. I can't wait for that. That will be incredible, you know. And the fact that there's going to be a Wii version of that game, this just popped into my head. The fact that there's going to be a Wii version of that game and that Wii version will be available in launch copies of Rodea for the Wii U. They could put the Wii version on the virtual They won't do that. No, of course they won't do that. They'll want to sell the Wii U version, of course they won't. But whatever. Ivy the Kiwi, go for it. Now this next one is kind of weird for me putting this in the list actually, because part of the reason I want to do this is because I think these games deserve like a second chance, or like an opportunity to get sort of better, and this game in and of itself was an attempt to make the series more well known and better, and sadly it kind of failed. That is Klonoa for the Wii. Anybody who's been subscribed to me for a while will know I love Klonoa. I think it's one of the best platformers ever, quite frankly, you know. Only 2 games under his belt, not counting like spin-offs for the Game Boy Advance and some Japan-only stuff that we never got. But this was a random Wii remake of the first game. And as a result, it's quite easy and quite short, you know, as 2D platformers for the PS1, which it was originally for, were at the time. But, you know, it plays remarkably well and is just like gets you in the feels, you know, much as Ivy the Kiwi does. In fact, that's kind of a theme you could probably get for a lot of these games. Again, you know, Klonoa kind of already had his like attempt to come back, you know, but there's already a Klonoa game on the Wii U Virtual Console. One of the Game Boy Advance ones is on there, so you know, why not just like satisfy us Klonoa fans a bit more and do it again? I don't know. Wouldn't hurt you that much, Namco. Yeah, so. Okay, now, this is one of 3 games. These aren't in any order, by the way. I'm not ranking these in the slightest. So I think I'll do these next 3 games together. These are games that were not released in the Americas. You know, we got them over here in Europe. And they're all really worth playing, so I totally think they should definitely at least come out on the American Virtual Console, you know, as separated as it is. But this one's definitely a given. It is Project Zero 2 Wii Edition. Project Zero 2 was obviously a PS2/Xbox game, got remade for the Wii, and only released in Europe for some fucking reason. I don't know why. I mean, the Project Zero, or Fatal Frame, if you live in the Americas, I really should make a whole video on this, you know, because it's like, this one got remade, a very good remake, by the way, completely changes the game, you know, changes the perspective and how it controls and all that. And we're getting Project Zero 5. We are in Europe, we're getting Project Zero 5 physically in a nice collector's edition. You guys over in America are only getting it digitally. But then there was Project Zero 4 that we never got, it was only Japanese, and yet when it came round to like just giving us a game for the Wii, they opted to remake the second one rather than just translate the fourth one, which everybody was fucking wanting. You know, there's a lot to unpack with Project Zero, you know? Regardless, one of my favourite series, I cannot fucking wait for the 5th one, which I am still very grateful that we are getting physically over here. I don't know why America isn't getting it. There are so many instances of, I'm sorry, I'm gone in a rant here, but there are so many instances lately that Nintendo of America is just getting like shat on by Nintendo of Europe, you know? There's just so many little things that I could point out, but whatever. Fucking Project Zero 2 really should come back, you know, on the Virtual Console. Okay, and the next one that America did not get is another Code R. Now, this may not be actually one of my personal favourites, but it's a game that really intrigues me, right? That's for certain. It was made by a company that has been shut down by Nintendo, which is kind of a rarity. Well, I don't know if it was shut down by Nintendo, but I'm pretty sure they were second party. Well, I think they made a couple of PS2 games, but regardless. It was made by a company called Cing, C-I-N-G, and their claim to fame was probably the Hotel Dusk games, you know? Which actually I wasn't a big fan of in the slightest. I did not think Hotel Dusk was that good, but another series they were known for. You know, as a big DS visual novel fan, I didn't think Hotel Dusk was that good, which is weird. But one other thing they did was Trace Memory for the DS, which was a better game, I thought. Still a bit too simple, but better regardless. But it got a sequel for the Wii. And yeah, this is just a really interesting game. You know, it's a point-and-click adventure game. You know, not very standard. You don't point and click, but you do interact with the environment, talk to characters, and solve little puzzles and all that. And some really unique ways to utilize the Wii Remote here. I ain't gonna lie. Again, it's not fantastic, but the fact that Americans didn't get this, I really think it's worth, you know, like a try for sure, you know. So get this one up there, Nintendo. That is definitely worth a look, you know. It's like I actually attempted to Let's Play that back in the day and failed because I found myself really not doing the game justice. You know, I wasn't really talking about stuff and all that. Maybe it had something to do with it not really being a favourite of mine, but still, I think it deserves. So yeah. And this next one, you can all probably guess what this is. Disaster Day of Crisis. I love this game. You guys in America didn't get this. I don't know why. This is like one of these games that I'll remember, I'll think of, and then I'll be like, the game's really good. It's fantastic, alright? I love this game, alright? Apparently this was like this was a case of like Nintendo of America. Again, going back, I know I'm ragging on them a lot in this video, but the rumor, anyway, based on what I've heard, I could be totally wrong about this, was that Nintendo of America lost all confidence in this game, which was made by Monolith, incidentally. The Xenoblade guys. This is their game, Monolith Soft. It was made by them. They lost confidence in it, refused to publish it, but Nintendo of Europe did. You know. I don't know if Nintendo, and that's this. Again, going into a rant here. I'm so sorry. That's what's happening with like the upcoming game Devil's Third right now, which I'm looking forward to. I'm sure I'm not expecting a masterpiece there, but I'm curious to play it, right? But Nintendo of America, they are publishing it, but they kind of like backstepped a wee bit. It's like, ooh, do we want to do this? And they're like, aye, okay, we'll do this. And it's like, Nintendo of Europe didn't like bat an eye, you know? They're just like, oh, here's this game, we'll publish it, totally. And that was apparently the case with this, so maybe that's why I'm like really looking forward to Devil's Third despite all the mean things being said to it at this point, you know. I'm expecting it to be just like this, you know, because this game's not fantastic. This game's like a 6 out of 10, but I love it. Really, really love it. Nintendo, put this up there, right? People really should play this. I did a Let's Play of it, check it out. Actually, yeah, 5 games left. I did a Let's Play of 4 of these games. Let's just grab the one that I didn't Let's Play, for the hell of it. And that is Endless Ocean. I've spoken with people that like, you know, who I would consider, you know, gamers, you know, not that casual, and they will like shit all over this game like it's, you know, the typical hardcore gamer interpretation of something like Nintendogs or something, like it's that sort of game. It's not. This game has some seriously good atmosphere, some seriously good exploration and wonder, you know, and generally it's a very therapeutic game to play, I found, you know. You're a diver, you cut about the ocean, you find like new species of undersea life, and you catalogue them, and there's actually a story there, which isn't too strong, but it's there. And you know, you find all these like magnificent locations, like you go to a pirate ship, you find like an abandoned underground ruin, you go into a pit, like in the sea, you know, going really quickly into the fucking, into the Earth's. It was scary. It was fucking scary, because you go down there's like a giant squid, and me, I don't know if I'm like just easily scared by shit like that, but the wide open spaces and not knowing what's about you, but I was crapping it when I got to that part of the game. Oh, such a memorable experience, this game, right? And there's a sequel. I've got the sequel there. Never played it. Really need to get around to it. Fucking, don't pass this game up, guys. It's worth a look. It really is. It's Endless Ocean. Awesome, you know? Hey guys, sorry about the little interruption there. I had to cut away and deal with some shit, but whatever. Anyway. We're going on to the top 4 here. I say top 4, they're in no order. And again, I've done Let's Plays of all these games, so but I'm probably going to ramble on about them anyway. Deadly Creatures for the Wii. Again, this game is so good, right? And not only is it so good, it's so fucking unique as well, you know? Like, you play as a spider or a scorpion, and you do you do spidery and scorpiony things, you know? And you do it like as these two. I could explain it all, but I won't do it justice. You know, like go watch my Let's Play of this. Right, this game very unique, very like, and see the thing is, I don't think I could blame you like looking at this cover and thinking, oh, this is just shit shovelware. You know, it's like I couldn't blame you in the slightest. But excellent game, honestly. Play it, or Nintendo, put it on the Virtual Console. You know that too. You know, okay. Next, we have A Boy and His Blob, and incidentally, a new Boy and His Blob game recently got announced by Majesco, okay? And I'm just hoping to fucking God that WayForward is doing it, okay? I really want them to do it. They made this one. I have the original Boy and His Blob for the NES up there. That game's shit, right? It is shit. This one, though, this one hits me right in the feels, you know? It's a cinematic platformer, a la Abe's Odyssey and all that jazz, but it's just so charming and so cute, and fucking makes you feel shit. It really does, okay? That's fucking... Did a Let's Play of it, you can go watch it. I can't wait for the sequel to this. And to hype up that sequel, Majesco, you should release this on the Wii U Virtual Console. There you go. Why the fuck not? So, yeah. Next up, we have Fragile Dreams, Farewell Ruins to the Moon. Now, maybe a bit of controversy here, because kind of like Disaster Day of Crisis, this isn't, and even a few other of these games, this isn't technically a great game, okay? But I love it to death. I still love it to death, okay? And again, it's for... I throw this word around so fucking much, and I apologize, but it gets you in the feels, you know? It's like, I played this game, I played it a few times, and I'm just thinking back to all the moments that happened, and I'm like, oh, that was so good, oh, I want to go and play it again right now. It's those sort of feelings that make us go onto the Virtual Console and download these games, like when we see them, you know? We might never even get around to playing them, but that feeling will entice us and like throw our money at you, right? I'm giving you free business advice here, Nintendo, okay? But yeah, it's basically, this is a survival horror game, but it's got some RPG elements. That's how I picture it. You play as this guy, post-apocalyptic world. Again, I could explain it, but I wouldn't do it justice. I really recommend checking this out. America, you actually got this one. Well, you actually got all of these, but yeah. And lastly, very personal pick here, one of my favourite games of all time, one of my favourite franchises, one of my favourite, possibly my favourite character of all time. Opinions on this game is split right down the middle, and I can sort of see why, but Knight's Journey of Dreams. This is one of those cases where it's like, yeah, polarizing opinion, maybe not technically a good game, but that means nothing to me. I love this game. I love this game. Probably my top 10 games of all time. You know, along with the original game for the Saturn. You know, I actually can't tell which one I love more. You know, this game was supposed to come out and was supposed to like revitalize the Knights franchise, you know? And I guess it didn't really do as well, which is super unfortunate, you know? It really does feel like it came right out of the Dreamcast era, you know? And I guess you could say that sort of in the games like, it's not really in the game's favour, you know, because obviously it was the Wii, it wasn't the Dreamcast, so people expected a bit more, and maybe that was it, but this game, again, feels, charm, everything about this game is just super appealing to me, you know? It's like, it's the sort of game I could just play anytime, feeling bad, whatever, and just like, love it to death, you know? So if this game was to come out, and this is going to be a really petty reason, but I would love this game to come out so that, in fact, hold on, I'll show you right here. Okay. The controller options available to you back when you played this game was the classic controller, the Wii Remote alone, which you never used because it was fucking awful, the classic controller Pro, and the GameCube controller. And there's one problem with all of those. Save for the Wii Remote alone, because that was just garbage anyway, but all the other controller options used an octagonal analog stick, you know? And you could get around it, you could play just fine with it. But compare that to like the Sega Saturn's like fully circular analog stick, you know? It just made controlling knights in the air so much better, you know? Using an octagonal controller was always one of my big pet peeves with this game. And quite frankly, that is probably the reason. Like again, I didn't say I'd rank these, but I would make that number 1, just so I could play it with the Wii Pro Controller and use the perfectly circular analog stick. Amongst all the other things, obviously. But yeah, that's that, guys. You know, by all means, let me know what games you would like on the Wii U Virtual Console. Again, Nintendo likes to split up their regions very unnecessarily. I don't get why. Everyone should have access to everything. You know, that's the god honest truth. That should just be the case. But Nintendo is silly like that sometimes. But I guess we love them anyway. Okay, that's that, guys. See you after. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.